So the TLDR is that Shane's right, and you should just buy the basic comfort version of this Sealion 7 because that's the one that makes the most sense, that's the one that's best priced, and that's the one that's still very well equipped as standard. If there is an argument for buying this Excellence version though, it's not in the performance. 530 horsepower, 690 newton meters of torque, and that 4.5 second 0 to 100k time are impressive, yes, but to be honest, the chassis does not have the ability to keep up with performance like that. The steering is too light and uninformative, and you can really feel the weight of this car, say under heavy braking or sharp cornering. It is not a driver's machine by any stretch of the imagination. However, it is very good at doing what I'm doing right now, which is cruising down the motorway, and that's because it has a little bit more range than the standard model. So because there's a 91 kilowatt hour battery in this and an 82 kilowatt hour battery in the Comfort, you get an extra few clicks of range, up to 502 kilometers on the WLTP test, although, has to be said, a more realistic figure is about 450, 440 kilometers there or thereabouts. That's fine. Bit of extra range is always a good thing to have, although you are spending considerably more for it. However, one of the things that this car does that the regular Sealion 7 doesn't do is it charges really quickly. So it'll charge it up to 230 kilowatts from a sufficiently powerful DC fast charger if you can find one. And that means that you can do a 10 to 80% charge in around about 20-24 minutes instead of the more than 35 minutes that it takes in the standard model. And of course, the beautiful thing about the Sealion 7 and about all BYD models is that it uses a lithium iron phosphate or LFP battery, which is much more robust and much more able to stand up to the rigors of repeated fast charging. So if you're a regular long distance driver, then yeah, there might just be a point in getting this Excellence version because it will go that little bit further on one charge, and it will charge up more quickly when you need to. But as I say, the extra performance is really kind of a moot point because once you've done the 0 to 100k run a couple of times, the novelty wears off, and the rest of the time, the Sealion 7 is, with the best will in the world, not a car that should really be having 530 horsepower because it's just not up to it. Doesn't have the handling nor the steering prowess for dealing with that kind of power output. But as a comfortable long-range cruiser, well-equipped, lovely cabin, decent touchscreen, good space in the back, good space in the boot, and being reasonably well-priced, and I do add that, you know, I'm leaning heavily on reasonably there, it is a pretty good all-round vehicle. And another impressive BYD, but maybe not a very thrilling one.